Eyewitness News presents Finding a Forever Home.
The purr of a kitten or a wagging puppy dog tail, welcoming you home at the end of the day.
Our pets bring us moments of joy. There are faithful companions, brighten our days when we're feeling lonely, and for many of us, a trusted member of our family.
Hello and welcome to Finding a Forever Home. I'm Kelly Byrne.
And I'm Chris Langlois. And the next half hour, we hope to inspire you to open your heart and home to a new pet. We're here at the SPCA of Luzerne County, where many pets are waiting to be adopted.
Many of our local shelters are bursting at the seams with loving animals, looking for the right person to care for them. Our Christina Shalhoub visits the Hillside SPCA in Pottsville, where they encourage prospective pet owners to volunteer.
We are open 365 days a year, whether it be 100 degrees or 0 degrees. We are here.
For the Hillside SPCA, every single one of those days is busy.
We had a case with 47 animals, 30 dogs, 1 goat, and 5 donkeys and 7 cats.
Tricia Moyer, the interim director of the SPCA, says that large-scale cruelty cases are becoming more and more common.
A couple days later, we took in 18 chihuahuas from a house.
And they don't get any easier.
Anybody that can tell you that they're emotionally numb to it and not affected is lying, because you go home and you pretty much lose it every day.
But Tricia says while cruelty cases are growing, so are cases of ignorance.
They didn't realize that the St. Bernard was going to get as big as it did, or they didn't realize that the lab puppy was going to shed as much as it was going to.
In fact, right before I arrived at the shelter,
2 dogs in the matter of 2 minutes just came through the doors.
While a puppy for a present might seem like a fun idea, animals live, breathe, and need plenty of care.
We get happy when one goes out and then 5, 10, 15, 20 more come in.
Something first-time pet owners should experience before taking a furry friend home.
Come to a shelter, volunteer, spend some time with live animals before you get a dog or a cat.
By that simple act, you'd be helping the shelters in more ways than one.
Would you say right now that you guys are feeling overwhelmed?
Yes, all of us are overwhelmed. The staff's overwhelmed, our volunteers are overwhelmed, and when we feel the stress of being overwhelmed, the animals feel it too.
And remember, when the right time comes to finally take on the responsibility of a new pet.
Adopt, don't shop.
For Finding a Forever Home, I'm Christina Shalhoub, Eyewitness News.
If you're interested in adopting a pet from the Hillside Animal Shelter, we have the information you need at pahomepage.com.
And they can always have a helping hand. Volunteers and donations are welcome too.
Here at the SPCA of Luzerne County, they're asking for donations to help keep animals a little more comfortable in their kennels at night.
They're looking for comfortable beds for pets to rest their weary heads. And Eyewitness News reporter Logan Westrope shows us how you can help.
Here at the SPCA of Luzerne County, it's been a busy past few weeks cleaning up the shelter and making the kennels feel more like home.
Last week we started painting kennels and we were fixing up the kennels. We were recreating the Kuranda beds and getting broken pieces from other Kuranda beds so that we can get rid of some of our shelter beds that we have in for our large breed dogs.
And this clean out of the shelter beds is what has left the SPCA in a little bit of a predicament.
We have about 20 in the shelter right now, and we always could have up to about 60 available animals in the kennels.
Feldman says many of the beds had to be thrown away since many of the parts were in poor condition after constant wear and tear. She says that these beds are really important for the animals, particularly for the larger breed dogs that are new to the shelter and are often stressed when they first arrive. The Kuranda beds help these animals sleep more comfortable, which Feldman says makes them more adoptable when people come and see them when they are up for adoption. Every week, the SPCA makes a list of items they ask the public that could be beneficial to the pets. Today is Wish List Wednesday. The SPCA of Luzerne County is looking for larger Kuranda beds for the animals. Feldman mentioned how important these Kuranda beds were compared to other shelter beds.
They are better to keep, hygienic-wise. They're easier to clean. They're elevated off the ground.
Having these beds in the kennels help to keep their bodies off the hot and cold floor, helping to regulate their body temperature during the changing seasons. And speaking of seasons, summer is the busiest time of year when the SPCA sees new animals moving in, which is why the need for the beds is one of their top concerns. For Finding a Forever Home, I'm Logan Westrope, Eyewitness News.
Anyone wishing to donate beds to the SPCA can visit pahomepage.com for more information.
There's more of Finding a Forever Home still ahead, including the benefits of adopting an older pet. Plus, the Destin Animal Shelter in Honesdale has been welcoming pets for decades. We'll share their story.
And we'll drop by Blue Chip Farms in Dallas, where we'll learn about their philosophy of caring for animals.
You're watching a special Eyewitness News presentation, Finding a Forever Home.
Our next stop is Blue Chip Farm Animal Rescue in Dallas, where we found a lot of wagging tails looking for their new homes.
The shelter is always looking for donations and has some unique ways to provide for its animals. Nestled in the back mountain of Luzerne County lies Blue Chip Farm Animal Refuge. Started by Marge Bart more than 20 years ago, the no-kill shelter has one important mission.
The mission of the shelter is to save animals. Save them from not being wanted, being thrown out, being discarded as trash, being ignored. Sometimes it's not cruelty, but it's lack of care.
Come on, Chocolate, wanna go for a walk?
The shelter utilizes a unique technique when preparing animals for adoption, as many are coming from difficult situations.
A lot of the dogs actually bond with the volunteer, and that volunteer works with them and gets them to trust more people, and that's what helps get them adoptable. Who's a good boy?
Recently, the shelter started helping pet owners as well. It takes in and cares for pets temporarily when owners are unable to due to hospital stays or other extenuating circumstances.
No one can get better in a hospital or get better in a rehab situation if they're worried about their pets.
But the personal care given to hundreds of cats, dogs, and even rabbits costs thousands. Blue Chip relies on donations and is always in need of monetary contributions. Its program, Adopt a Kennel, is a way you can help.
And for $500 a year, you can adopt a kennel either in memory of someone or in honor of someone or a lifelong pet that you had or a mission that you have, and we place a plaque on the kennel.
The program allows individuals or businesses to help care for animals while they wait for their perfect family and find their forever home.
There's nothing better than seeing a dog walk up the road, get in the car, and go to get love for the rest of his life.
You can also learn more about the Adopt a Kennel program at pahomepage.com.
The Destin Animal Shelter in Honesdale, Wayne County, has been welcoming and sheltering pets since 1968. The shelter is very busy and always looking for forever families. There's also another way that you can help, being a foster parent.
Destin Animal Shelter, how can I help you?
At any given time, the Destin Animal Shelter is home to about 125 animals. Between all the dogs, cats, even rabbits, it's a labor of love for shelter manager Kim Lombardi.
I love animals, dogs, cats, everything, and I enjoy doing this, taking care of them and trying to find the best home possible for them.
With so many animals to care for and only so much space, having foster families step in is a key to their success.
Basically anybody can foster. They just need to fill out an application, and we just check if they have all their animals at home. We want to make sure that they're current on their vaccines before we send our animals in. And you know, if they have a dog, then if they foster a dog, we have to do a meet and greet to make sure everybody's going to coordinate and, you know, be friendly with each other.
But with only 5 foster families currently working with the shelter, the need is dire for more households to join.
Right now we don't have enough. We're always looking for foster families. We're in desperate need of it, especially now that kitten season is upon us.
But even if you can't foster an animal, the smallest donation of your time can help. Volunteer coordinator Marisa Niscali says stopping by to volunteer makes a difference in an animal's life.
They do all different things. We've got volunteers that will come here and just do laundry, property maintenance. We've got dog walkers. We've got people that go to off-sites.
However you choose to get involved at the Destin Animal Shelter, it's all about finding those forever homes.
And little by little, you get to see them to learn to trust you, and it's just they really come out, and it's just nice to see them off to their new life.
Still to come, we'll find out why a new cat program in Monroe County is just awesome.
And then we're on the job at the SPCA of Luzerne County. Your local pet shelter is always in need of donations, and we have a wish list of the most needed items. More information at pahomepage.com.
You're watching a special Eyewitness News presentation, Finding a Forever Home.
It's not an easy job taking care of animals 24/7, 365 days a year. The volunteers deserve a lot of credit for the hard work and their dedication.
Kelly, Stefano Di Pietro and I had the opportunity to see firsthand the hard work that goes into finding our furry friends that forever home when we went on the job. It's an all-too-normal start to the day at the SPCA of Luzerne County. A cat picked up off the streets, shivering in the bitter cold, and brought in by Wilkes-Barre Animal Control. First, a quick microchip scan and computer search to see if there's a documented owner. There's not in this case, so the cat is handed off to the vet tech to begin its exam. It's a routine process for the shelter, but new to Kelly, Stefano, and me as we go on the job to lend a hand. Volunteer coordinator Chelsea Feldman shows us the ropes.
We're never closed. 365 days a year, somebody is here in this building to take care of these animals.
Last year, more than 3,000 animals called the SPCA home for a time, and that leads to plenty of chores that must be done before they open to the public at noon. First, Stefano gets to work in the cat room.
Every day we have to come in, get all of the belongings out.
At any given time, there can be more than 150 cats in the shelter, so it's important to give each kennel a thorough cleaning.
It's like bleach, but safer for cats.
Fresh food and water.
You could put a bed on one side.
And clean bedding. Our newest addition to the shelter will find his way to this cat room eventually, but first, vet tech Amber Reese is completing those tests we mentioned earlier.
Any cat gets a blood test before they even hit a cage in case they have something contractable.
This little guy gets a clean bill of health as he warms up from the cold, but he's just one of the animals getting attention.
This little man came in with a collar embedded in his neck.
And now Kelly's helping to administer the proper medicine.
There you go.
There's no needle involved. This is an oral antibiotic given daily.
Ready?
Get right in there because he's going to spit. There you go.
Good job.
At the same time, a volunteer is hard at work in a room you hear before you see.
Hi, baby.
The North Kennel has room for about 30 dogs, and they're almost always full.
You want to spray down the floor, the bed, and the walls.
Each morning, the dog kennels are also scrubbed down, rinsed, dried, then prepared with fresh bedding. Oh, and if you find any free time, it's all hands on deck in the laundry room to get that bedding ready.
Oh wait, no, Stefano did not do a good job.
It's a daily to-do list that gets no breaks, no holidays, and takes no vacations. But each animal that finds that forever home is proof that their hard work pays off.
A lot of people will say, how can you work in a shelter? And I sometimes want to say, I don't know how you can.
The day-to-day operation of a shelter is not an easy task. There are many duties the volunteers and staff are responsible for, and we just tip our hats to them.
Yeah, we just gave you a small glimpse of their work and the job that they love. When thinking of adopting a pet, don't forget about an older dog or cat.
As we learned from our friends at the Back Mountain Veterinary Hospital in Dallas, an older pet just may be the right fit for you.
I'm here with Dr. Devin Bennett of the Back Mountain Veterinary Hospital, and I think there's a lot of need in adopting and really getting to know senior pets that are out there. Is that true? There's a need for this?
Yes, absolutely. Senior pets that end up in shelters are the most looked over category out there, and sometimes they have the most to offer back.
And do you guys run a wellness program here as well?
We do. Actually, the lab gives us a discounted package that we can check full organ function, CBC to check red cells and white cells, a chemistry that checks kidney function, liver function, sugar for diabetes, and a whole bunch of other things, as well as a thyroid and a urinalysis for, again, full organ function. They discount that for any pet over 7 years of age.
And you know what I love about you, Dr. Bennett, is that you're a mom to so many senior pets, so it hits home with you.
Absolutely. Senior pets out there, you don't have to house train them. They've already been through all of their puppy series, so you save so much money there. They have already often been in one, if not multiple family settings throughout their lives. They're a lot calmer. There's none of that whole chewy stage and everything else going on, and they're just there in need of love and want to give love back.
And what would be the process that someone would take to actually adopt a senior pet? What would they have to go through?
So if you're going through your shelters or your foster agencies for pets, and you want to adopt a senior pet, they will be thrilled to hear that. You would just want to let them know that ahead of time, that you're looking for an older pet. You're not looking in the puppy kitten ward. You want the seasoned ones that may have been picked over in the past. They'll take you to go look at them, and then depending on your level of commitment for a senior pet, you will have to worry about things like they may have some lumps and bumps. They may have some teeth that need cleaning, those sorts of things, depending on their level of care prior to coming into the shelter. So you want to check them over, look for what you're getting yourself into as far as health conditions, and just make sure it's something you can handle. But again, once you get those things under control, if they have anything, they may be perfectly healthy, then you just have a loving friend to give back. And like I said, the shelter should be honest with you about at least what they know about their medical history.
And I love that you called them seasoned pets. You know, they're senior pets, but they're also seasoned pets. I love that term. And they really do turn out to be great animals and great friends.
Absolutely. My elder pets that I have at my house now have older horses, I have older dogs, I have older cats, and they make my life so easy for dealing with some of my younger critters that come through the house, because they teach them how to be good little pet citizens in the house. And, you know, like, they're just calmer. They just want to love you and hang out with you. They're not, you know, bouncing off the walls like our fun younger kids that we deal with in the puppy kitten category.
I love it so much. Dr. Devin Bennett, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you want to see more great pets for adoption, join us every Friday on Eyewitness News at 11 a.m. on WBRE and noon on WYOU for our Pet of the Week segment.
Each week we feature a loving pet from the SPCA of Luzerne County or Griffin Pond Animal Shelter that's looking for a forever home. As we head to break, a story that made headlines. German Shepherds seized in Tennessee are finding care here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Christina Schallhoop has the story.
Meet Gretchen. She's a very good girl who came from a very bad situation. She and 6 other dogs now have a second chance because of one organization in Pennsylvania. At first, it might seem like all play and no work. But for these German Shepherds from Tennessee, it's been a long road.
There was a woman who maybe at one time wanted to do the right thing. She said she rescued German Shepherds, and sometimes it gets out of control. She had 40-some dogs in her house.
From compassion to charges of criminal negligence. But with their previous owner headed to court, where does one put 40 70-pound dogs?
A lot of rescues have stepped up and helped out.
Rescues like Char Will's German Shepherd Rescue in New Ringgold. The nonprofit took in 7 of the neglected Tennessee dogs and is taking care of them until it's time to find their forever home. They'll have to jump a few hurdles, however, before that day can come.
Of the 7 we took in, 5 are heartworm positive, so that means a fairly big expense and some time till they're ready to officially be adopted.
But it's not all bad news. Thanks to Char Will's hands-on approach with social media, Pennsylvania residents have already taken notice of the 7 shepherds.
You can reach across the world with social media. So it's not just through the people you know, it's through the people you know, plus everyone else that they know.
Joseph Schaefer saw one of Char Will's Facebook posts and visited the rescue as soon as he could to find a new friend for his current dog, Macca.
Well, I always liked Rin Tin Tin when I was a little kid. So I always wanted a German Shepherd.
Now Joseph has a chance to find another furry friend.
I can't thank them enough for everything that they do.
And the dogs have another chance at a good life and a happy home. For Finding a Forever Home, I'm Christina Schallhoop, Eyewitness News.
Watching a special Eyewitness News presentation, Finding a Forever Home.
A new facility is now open for shelter cats in the Poconos.
The move will allow volunteers at Awesome Animal Shelter to care for even more homeless felines. Eyewitness News reporter Brianna Strunk takes us inside for a look.
This is the Scratching Post, a new free roaming facility for cats at Awesome Animal Shelter in Stroudsburg.
If you have some treats, they all come running over to you. It's the best therapy ever.
Shelter manager Kim Fish says this is a relaxing environment for the cats. It's a big difference from the noisy and cramped cages they're oftentimes confined to.
It holds up to approximately 30 cats. They all get to have their own free area to walk around, play with each other.
This project cost about $18,000. It was made possible through a grant and generous donations.
So it took a long time in planning and vision, and we always look to improve.
Each year, Awesome takes in about 600 abandoned or surrendered cats from Monroe County alone. The scratching post will allow the nonprofit to care for even more.
Every single day, our phone is ringing, and I'm going to say every other phone call is about cats.
The scratching post isn't just a shed. It has heat, air conditioning, and windows.
We wanted someplace special that made them feel more like home.
But the goal is to find these cats their forever home. Until then, they'll be waiting here, stress-free. For Finding a Forever Home, I'm Brianna Strunk.
Head to PAHomepage.com for information about adopting a pet from any of the other shelters we've featured here today.
Opening your heart and home to a new pet can bring you great joy, and we hope that we've inspired you to consider adopting a pet from your local shelter.
And we hope you'll also consider helping your local SPCA or animal rescue. They need volunteers, supplies, and monetary donations.
Thank you for joining us for Finding a Forever Home. I'm Chris Lamboyce.
And I'm Kelly Burns.